Kizaru is on the way and things are about to get really crazy. A couple years ago, we made a video talking if Luffy is now able to defeat an admiral, and I think we're about to get our answer, as I believe the big climactic battle of Egghead will be Kizaru versus Luffy. And we may see a side to Kizaru we've never seen before, angry and at full power. So today we'll discuss if Luffy is up for the challenge and how things will play out, as it might not end up the way we all think because of outside factors. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and click the bell icon to stay notified. I would greatly appreciate it, and to those who support me, I'll be sure to give you guys all a good hug. I'm sure many of you guys have noticed, but it seems like Egghead is becoming a Shibori 2.0, as various characters from that arc are appearing again: Kuma, Sentomaru, and Kizaru, all three people that terrorized the Straw Hats and annihilated their crew. And after that, Luffy promised that one day he'll meet all three of them and become stronger and never let that happen again, and coincidentally, he is given the chance here. Things have finally gone full circle, and this fight has been a long time coming, as Kizaru has been bullying Luffy ever since their first interaction, saying he's not ready and he's just too young. But now the tides have turned, where Luffy is now an emperor and Kizaru the admiral is gonna test his might. Now the funny thing about Kizaru is, despite being portrayed as like lazy and absent-minded, he's always bout the smoke and ready for action, and usually asking for permission to go out, but this time was a bit uncharacteristically for Kizaru, as he went straight to Egghead without even consulting with Akainu. That's rather strange, but also makes a lot of sense, as he seems to have some sort of relationship with Vegapunk. And we know the relationship between Sentomaru and Kizaru. Sentomaru considers Kizaru an uncle more so in a Yakuza way, rather than blood ties. And Vegapunk in a sense saved Sentomaru, so he looks up to him as like a grandfather. So Kizaru and Vegapunk may be a lot more closely connected than we previously thought. And now that Sentomaru has been taken out by Lucci, Kizaru might just flip and go pure rage mode and show his full power. And we already know how powerful Kizaru is, or well, could be, as he's an admiral, the strongest force in all of the Marines, capable of fighting commanders, emperors, and even Silver's Rayleigh, some of the strongest characters in the series. Admirals are island-level threats with mass amounts of power. Unfortunately though, we've never seen an admiral at full power, as they're usually held back for various reasons, such as protecting their surroundings like Marine HQ. But because of the reasoning in Egghead, Kizaru might be able to finally let loose. And the serious Kizaru is absolutely terrifying. He may even have an awakening as well, and I think he would be a great person to showcase what a Logia awakening looks like, as it was kind of hinted on Punk Hazard that Akainu and Aokiji are awakened as they change the island permanently. But because he's a part of the original Admiral trio pre-time skip, there is a lot of hype and expectations for Kizaru, as these three were the most competent in the entire Marine organization, seeing the potential threat in Luffy and trying to snuff him out immediately. But despite being the pinnacle of the Marines, the Admirals aren't unbeatable, as they're not capable of defeating an emperor. They're able to fight one for a period of time, but unable to accomplish the goal. And we've seen this on a few occasions, such as Marineford when all the Admirals fought Whitebeard, but also when Shanks punks Greenbow with Justice Hockey, and well, spoiler alert for Film Red if you haven't watched it, Shanks punks the Admirals again, this time being Fujitora and Kizaru with just his Hockey alone, forcing the both of them to retreat. And now that Luffy is an emperor, this will be his first true hurdle, to see if he's deserving of the title, and I think there's no better opponent than Kizaru. Luffy has gotten considerably stronger since the last they met. He now has advanced Conqueror's Hockey, he has a new transformation, Gear 5th is absolutely nuts, and has awakened his Devil Fruit. His fruit is only limited by his imagination, and he gets stronger the more he smiles and laughs. He also has Future Sight, so he'll be able to keep up with Kizaru, the Man of Light. Luffy himself is an island level threat, capable of creating a fist larger than Onigashima. Even in his base form, he was able to fight Kaido one-on-one. This guy is truly a monster in the making. He is slowly becoming a master at Hockey and his Devil Fruit. And what's scary is that Luffy still has so much growth and potential. He's still learning how to fully utilize Gear 5th, and already by fooling around, he's able to easily defeat Lucci. That is crazy. So I do believe Luffy is more than capable of fighting and defeating an admiral, but that doesn't mean this fight won't take both of these guys to their absolute limits. This will be a very difficult fight on both sides. We know that battles in One Piece could get very unpredictable and other people could get involved. And what makes an emperor truly terrifying is their allies and crew, and so we have to talk about the Straw Hat Pirates. Specifically the new monster trio, I would guess, the top 3 officers of the Straw Hat: Sanji, Zoro, and Jinbe. Now we know that the commanders of Emperor crews are very powerful and require the attention of an admiral. And now that the Straw Hats are emperors, the same should apply for Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbe. And if you've been on the channel long enough, you know that my dream fight is Kizaru versus Sanji. Both are very fast, from the North Blue, and connected to the Mads in some way, with Judge being Sanji's father and Vegapunk connected with Kizaru. But there is a strong case for Zoro as well, as Kizaru is usually left fighting with the vice captain of whatever crew, such as Rayleigh, Marco, and even Ben Beckman. And I'm pretty sure Kizaru is the right-hand man of Akainu, as they're always seen together, but also they knew each other before they even joined the Navy. So they go way back, but if Kizaru were to fall here, that would be a heavy blow not just to the Navy, but to Akainu as well. And Zoro and Sanji specifically have gotten considerably stronger since they saw Kizaru, being able to overcome King and Queen and getting themselves nice power-ups. Zoro now has advanced Conqueror's Haki like his captain, and Sanji has a new body. I do believe that Kizaru would have a very hard time fighting either one of these two. If he fought the entire crew at once, he'd definitely lose. And I'd argue of the 3, Zoro actually has the best chance, as he does know advanced Conqueror's Haki, and that is only for the elite. And he still has a lot more growth to learn from it, plus there's the potential of getting a Black Blade, and his dream surpassing the scope of the admirals, and by the end of the series, Zoro will be one of the strongest characters in the series, up there with probably the emperors. He still probably has to get better observation to match Mihawk's, because I'm assuming Mihawk is like one of the best observation users in the world. His name is Hawkeye. And he's gonna fight Shiryu eventually, who can turn invisible, so Zoro is gonna need better observation Haki, and Kizaru could be a good test for that, though I don't think these two will have a full-on fight now, though I do think Zoro could take Kizaru to the limits. But with that being said, I actually don't think Zoro and Sanji are yet ready to defeat an admiral. They can definitely fight one and take them to their limit, but actually beat them, not yet. Because for me personally, I believe that the admirals will be one of the final opponents for the Straw Hat commanders by the end of the series, while Luffy fights Akainu. But things might be a little different. Maybe he wants to get the admirals out of the way now to just show how strong the Straw Hats and Luffy have gotten. Even though they're very powerful and can fight admirals, we've seen in every occasion except for Rayleigh that the commanders usually lose. Even Green Bull took out King and Queen at the same time, though they were obviously severely weakened and probably handcuffed, even calling them small fry, and solidified that these guys are emperors and not to be trifled with, and Kizaru might just be a sacrifice to show this. But just because Kizaru loses now does not mean he can't play a role in the future of the series. In fact, we've seen many characters lose and then come back in the story later on and even get stronger. So yeah, Kizaru's gonna be an absolute monster, and he is a master at his devil fruit, but he does have a severe weakness, and that is he seems to rely too much on his devil fruit abilities. Even though it's in a movie, Zephyr even calls Kizaru out on this. But he's no slouch in the Haki department, as him alongside Aokiji and Akainu were able to block an earthquake attack by Whitebeard with just their willpower. And I definitely see him using some crazy Haki abilities, maybe even things we haven't seen before. But his overall reliance on his devil fruit is a major weakness, especially against someone like Luffy, who's becoming a master at Haki at a fast rate. But now that there's war on Egghead and nowhere to run, it's time to see if Luffy can defeat the demons of his past and enter the realm of the gods. But that's the video. Zoro is currently on the ship with Brooks, so they can get their salty run back from Shibodi. I'm extremely excited to see Kizaru finally do something, and hopefully he can go all out. He might have to hold back, as they're not supposed to damage any of the goods on Egghead, but hopefully he doesn't care. I am interested to explore the relationship between him and Sentomaru, and even him and Vegapunk. There's definitely something going on there as well. I've even seen people float the idea that Vegapunk and Kizaru are actually brothers, and I do wonder if he's actually gonna care about what happened to Sentomaru, or if he's not gonna do anything, because he can be very cold at times. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a good day and a good night. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.